everybody, and
Hello.
welcome to the Magical Carousel Show. I hope you're enjoying your evening, and tonight we've got a special guest with us, Jamie Williams. And we've
Hello.
also got Richard, and we've got Willow. So welcome to the show, Jamie.
Sorry, didn't ask me that, Lynn.
I said, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Do you know what that countdown then? I've managed to fix the blanket behind me or the quilt.
Oh,
Looks like you had a bomber, did it? Oh, thanks very much for having me on the show anyway tonight.
you're very, very welcome. Tonight, guys, before we start, as everybody has heard, obviously on Monday, my ex-co-host Bri passed away. So, guys, on tomorrow's show, there will be a tribute show for Bri. Friday Frighteners hasn't made a return. It's just a tribute from myself to Bri. Because we did work together for 2-3 years, guys. So that will be on tomorrow. Just in case you're thinking, what's going on? That's why, guys. But let's enjoy the show tonight.
Could I dedicate this show to Bri? Because I won't be around for tomorrow, so this is my way of saying thank you for all you've done.
Definitely. My thoughts go out with his family and Ian.
Yeah,
definitely. So tonight we have Jamie. Lynn, you're doing the interviewing. I'm just sitting here like a goose.
So, Jamie, would you like to tell everybody who you are and what you do?
Yeah. You just told me who I am. I do paranormal investigations. I've got a radio show. I do podcasting. I just love the paranormal. I've just finished writing a book, and that comes out sometime. I think it's the very beginning of June. That's me in a nutshell, there, Lynn.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So, where are you based? Where are you based?
Oh yeah, I'm in Liverpool. Well, St Helens near Liverpool. So a mile away from Mill Street Barracks, my favourite location.
Yeah.
So not too far away from there. So, and I'm there quite often as well, because I'm a key holder there, which I love doing, and I love meeting all the paranormal groups that go in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
you get quite a few groups going through there, don't you?
Oh yeah. Twice a week we have them on a Friday night and a Saturday night. So it's quite fully booked up at the moment. So it's like I'm in there all the time, but I won't be next week because I'm not here. But I'm usually quite often in there now, and I love the place as well. Very, very haunted. That's all I can say about the place, can't I, Lee? You've been a few times there. You know what it's like.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh yeah. Anybody who wants to book that place, get in touch with Mill Street.
Yeah.
Is it experiences that you've had that's what's made you love the place? Like, do you feel like you've had some sort of past life there? Because when people love places, most of the time they feel like they've been there before.
Mm-hmm. No, what it was is years. I've been there 16 years, and I didn't know at the time. I was going for a paranormal investigation, and when I got sadly, my mum and dad have passed away now. But when I was talking to my mum, I said, I'm going for a paranormal investigation at Mill Street Barracks in St Helens. She went, your dad was based there. Then she told me all the information about my dad. He got TB from there. I don't know how long he was there for. And then when I started going on a more regular basis, we had like a historical day where they put all the photographs out. And there was a picture with the whole, all the soldiers on parade at the back.
Uh-huh.
There's my dad on the parade as well. So, I've got that fantastic connection with the place. And, my mum had said she used to go there. And my mum and dad used to go there. Mum used to sneak in when all the bosses went out and stay there with me dad. Then early hours in the morning, she'd sneak out again. And these were the stories I was told. So every time I go in the bedroom area, like it clicks in my head, my mum and dad were in here.
Yeah.
What not something you want to think about, but hey. So I've got a very strong
Begs the
connection.
question where you were created.
Sorry?
It begs the question of where you were created.
I wasn't. I'm 1963, so my brother was 1958, and my dad was there at that time. So
Oh,
there you go. Put two and two together.
no, bless. Hey,
So, yeah.
Noreen.
Hi, Noreen.
Noreen
Noreen.
says, I watched Investigations there with Shell from
Oh, Shell, yeah, I know Shell really well. She's action with yeah, I've been a few times with them.
Oh,
Where's
wow.
your favourite place apart from Mill Street? Where's been the favourite place that you've ever investigated, or
There's
some
so many.
different places that you really enjoyed?
I can say one of them straight away was St. Cyria's Well on Anglesey.
Yeah.
That was amazing, that place. The Ancient Ram Inn was brilliant. Oh, God, you caught me off the cuff there, Lynn. I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
Oh, my word. Morecambe Winter Gardens, I really enjoyed going there as
Yeah,
well. I thought that was a cracker.
loved it when we went there. Yeah.
Anything
What
to
did
do
you
with
think?
theatres, I love.
What did you think of the Skirrid Inn? Because you went camping, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
you took
Hazel.
tent
Yeah,
down. I
Hazel
travelled
and Lynn.
down, but
Yeah,
we all ended up inside the building, didn't we?
that's right. Yeah, we all end up sleeping in the building, didn't we? But
So
if you
in the four-post bed.
well, you did.
We
There was you and
did.
Stuart and a couple of others. That's another story.
Yeah, I
But,
could have kicked him in the head. God love him. I could have kicked him in the head. There was me, Ruth, and Sonia sleeping on the
Sonia,
four-post
yeah,
bed.
yeah.
I was along the bottom that way because I
Yeah.
was the smallest, and I couldn't sleep because of the noise Stuart was doing. I've never heard snoring like it.
We ended up camping further down. I took one of these tents, and there was Hazel took a tent, and
Yeah.
a lady called I just told you the name as well, from Whiston, Lynn. I think her name was Lynn, and we were all there. And then says to me, it's dead funny. She said to me, Jamie, is there any chance you could sleep in the same tent as Hazel? I went, I've got my own tent. I think I'd rather stay in my own tent. And she said, yeah, but I snore. And I said, well, we're in tents. Whether you snore, I'm still going to hear you wherever we are. She actually thought that if she got in another tent on her own, that we wouldn't hear her snore. And I went, no, I'm staying in my own tent. I thought,
Yeah.
I can hear you, wherever you are, I'm going to hear you snoring anyway. But it was a good try on her anyway. She tried.
Yeah.
But Skirrid Inn, I enjoyed the Skirrid Inn, but it doesn't. I can't remember a lot happening that night.
No, there was not a lot of action.
No. I mean, it was
the
all.
worst I seen, I think, that night, Jamie, was that we snuck up in the attic, and there was thousands upon thousands of dead blue bottles.
Oh my God.
Thousands of them.
You sneaked up. I've got nothing to do with that. I never went up.
You're not allowed in the attic or the basement anymore.
Oh,
due
yeah.
to health and safety. No.
They still had they had hangman's rope there, didn't he? In the middle.
The hangman's rope still there, yeah.
Yeah, and they had they showed you the markings on the on the banister. They showed you where the rope was rubbing on the mark. Yeah,
it is a fantastic place.
Yeah. I mean, the ancient Ram Inn. I thought was fantastic. I really enjoyed it there. Did you go with us, Lynn, on that one? Or
no, I didn't. No, I couldn't go on that one.
The first one we went within a month, twice within a month. And the first one, we had to abandon it because the group we were with, there was a huge scream, and they were coming from the barn part. And when we went through to see if they were all right, they said they felt something wrapping around the legs. And when you looked at the two girls, they were white with fear. So we went, okay, so we had a bit of a break first, and then we said, we'll carry on a bit more. We went in, and I was sitting next to a girl called, do you know what? I'm sure I'm getting old because I can't remember names. Kerry, and then there was Hazel and a few others. And we could see, they could all see like blue sparks in the distance. And I'm saying, you sure it's not the electrics? Because I don't know whether you've been the ancient ramming, but it's an old place. It's got dates back 1,500 years. And I said, you sure it's not the electrics? Not that they had electrics 1,500 years ago, but it's old electrics. And what's well, if they did, I'll tell you what, the wiring was good. There was all these sparks and everything else, and me being on the end, and Kerry was sitting next to me. I said, if that is something, come and show yourself. If that's all you can do, show yourself. Well, my chair actually started rocking. I could feel the chair rocking. And I said to Kerry, put your hand on the chair. So she put my hand on the chair. And she went, your chair's rocking, Jamie. I said, I know. So I went, stop the rocking, please. And it stopped. And then it started again, but it started to get hard, rocking harder. I went, oh, dear God. So I said, stop the rocking. And that's the end of it. And then it disappeared. And then we could see a mist in the distance where the electrics were. And the next thing I said, if that's you, come forward and show yourself. Well, this mist comes shooting up the main part of the barn, and it came right up to my face. And I swear to God, there was a face or something just looking at me like that. That chair nearly turned into a commode, to be honest with you. And then I jumped back and I went, that's it, stop. And it disappeared again, but it just came right up and then moved and disappeared. And after that, we went for a break. And we had a little bit of a break there. And then we didn't go back in there then. Then there was a big hoo-ha with the two girls who had the fear of God out of them. And that was it then. We abandoned it and we went home. But we had to come back a month later. We thought, we've got to go back. So we rebooked it. And John was there then. And so we went back again, and we'd done everywhere else in the building. And we said, let's go in the barn. Last time we were in the barn, it was good. So we went in the barn, and I was sitting in another place, and Hayes was there again. Not much was happening. And then they said, you call out, Jamie, because you haven't called out. And I was thinking, I don't want to really call out, because last time I was here, I cacked myself, So I thought, okay, I'll do that. And as I was calling out, I heard on the table. And as that happened, Hazel went, Jamie, there's something next to you. And I went, right, that's enough for me. Okay. And I left the room and went to where John was and sat with him, because I thought it's too, at the time, I mean, you're talking 12 years ago now. So I wasn't as experienced as I am now. So I sat with John and was yapping away to John. And within 10, 15 minutes, they all come back in. I said, what's happened? Did anything else happen? He said, when you left, nothing at all happened after that.
Oh.
But I've never been back there since. I'd love to go back, but it's costly, so costly now. So I thought, I've had the experience. So that's it.
Do you not think, Jamie, that places are becoming really expensive to book? Like, they are throwing their prices up like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah. I think COVID caused that. I think when we had the lockdown, a lot of locations couldn't afford to keep going like that. So I think when we come out of lockdown and everybody wanted to do the paranormal investigations again, because you'd had 2 years of no investigations. I think they put the prices that companies put the prices up, or locations put the price up. One, because they needed the money.
Yeah.
And I get that, but don't put the prices up too high. But I think now it's settled, but some locations are going too high, and it's making a mockery of the paranormal. It should be equal for everybody. And when I spoke to Mill Street when they were putting the prices up there, and it didn't go up a lot, because I said to them, I said, keep your prices like they are, and the groups will come back. If you put your prices too high, you're going to end up with no weeks where there's no groups coming in, and it'd be better to keep your prices lower and have an income coming in all the time than putting your money higher. Because if you think about 3 or 4 weeks of no groups coming in, and it's £350 per night, depending on how many people you're taking into Mill Street Barracks. If you think of £350 per night, and you getting them, twice every weekend, that's a lot of money. If you put your prices higher, if you put your prices higher, people are not going to come. And you're losing what you think you're going to make, you're going to lose. So you might as well stay lower and get more people coming in. Groups, I mean, there's groups who don't take members of the public. They can't afford 350. There might only be 5 or 6 of them in the group. They can't afford that. So not only are the companies going to lose out, the locations, the groups are going to miss out. So there's got to be some kind of fine line where everyone comes into an agreement.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when locations are very high on the in like on TV, on YouTube, you've got like the 30s Drive, you've got Ancient Ramen and things like that. When they're getting battered by groups not battered, but being used by groups.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they've done that. They're just examples. They're putting the prices too high. So these groups who were going at like say £40 a head, they're now going at £70 to £80 a head. It's double the money. They can't do it. And the state of the country at the moment, no one can afford these locations.
No.
The location. If you think about it, how often do you hear of the Ancient Ramen now?
No,
you don't hear much of it.
Not that often.
No.
You don't hear of these big locations anymore because people can't afford to go to them.
No.
Or the people who own them have made enough money that they can now open up to whatever they want to do. And a lot of what's sad as well is a lot of these locations are also having their own groups run them. So when you book it, they host it. So groups are not getting the satisfaction of taking their own friends and people like that. The groups are now starting to say, well, you can book it, but we host it.
Yeah.
So they're making money. And I think that is I think that's the downside of some of these locations at times.
It really is, and it's not just that. You've got all the big places, and I think, as you say, Jamie, when people are constantly going to the big places like Ancient Ram, like Chilling Castle, like Pendle Hill, and I'm just throwing them out there as an example.
Yeah.
I think it just starts to get quite boring. But there's so many wee places out there, like places that people might not think about that because they're too busy going to the bigger places. And the thing is, I have seen places that haven't been so much known, and then they are known, and then they get big-headed, and then they put their prices up to, sky high, and it's ridiculous because, as you say, Jamie, in this current climate, no one's got the money to pay.
No.
And I think that's why a lot of people then have went from, well, we're not willing really to Urbexing, because Urbexing, you're out in the cold, but you're not getting charged astronomical amounts
Exactly.
to be there. Hi Holly, hope you're well, love.
Also, I also think there's a misinterpretation of these big buildings, especially for new people coming in and learning about this skill that we've got, right? And the paranormal. They think the bigger the place is, the more they're going to get action. Well, that's as we know, that's not quite the case.
That's a definite no. That's a definite no.
I mean, you see ones like, obviously, people on the telly out investigating these places, and people think, they're getting all this activity, and then they're out trying, and then they're sitting for maybe 5, 6, 7 hours, and this is not like the TV. But I say to these people, do you know what? See, if you sit in a building for 5, 6, 7 hours, guys, it's not really a wasted trip. You're sitting in history. You're sitting in history. You're sitting in a beautiful building. You're sitting in, a place that you could only ever dream of coming to. Hi, William. Hope you're well.
Hi, William.
So it's like, take in what's round about you. It's not always about, if you're going out to look for something. As I say, the key elements to paranormal investigation, good energy. Don't go out with the pretense of, I'm going to find something, because that just leads you into the power of suggestion. If you don't even think about it, that's when things come to you. But if you're sitting there going, I'm going out tonight and I'm going to get 10 ghosts speaking to me, then you're going to, every little bump or every little sound, or even when you're we've all done it ourselves at the beginning when we've listened to EVPs and we think, oh my God, did you hear somebody walking, or did you hear what they're saying? But definitely, how long have you been doing the paranormal, Jamie?
Oh dear. Since about 2006, 2007.
Oh wow.
I was interested in it a lot before that. But it was funny because there was a place. I lived in Huyton, and there was a place round the corner, a pub. There's a pub on every corner, really, isn't there? But there was this pub called the Quarry Inn. Sadly, it's been demolished. It was a historical place, and at the time, I was unsure because I had a heart attack around that time, and so I was like reluctant to go out. So I thought that I can't do this, I can't do that, which is an automatic thing when you've had one, and because your confidence goes. And
Yeah.
my mate, a mate of mine called Keith, he knew there was a little mini investigation going on because somebody we knew had organised it, and he come round, dragged me in the car, and said, "Right, you're coming with us." And from that night, I loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
And that it sounds strange, but the paranormal turned me round to feeling more confident and getting out there and doing it. And that night just changed me completely. From then on, that's 2007. So yeah, that's how long I've been doing it. And I'm still learning. People turn around and say, "Oh, you're experiencing that." We're only experienced in what we've been able to have ourselves.
Yeah.
Every time you go on an investigation, you're learning. Technology comes out, and things like that. So it's not, there's no certifications. We can't say we're fully qualified paranormal investigations. There's no government body saying that we're fully qualified. We're only experienced. There's no such things as anybody higher than anybody else. The more experience.
No such thing as a professional investigator.
Exactly. That's the way. That's what I meant, Richard. Yeah.
And there's no certificates. All there is there's more experienced investigators.
Yeah.
As opposed to professional investigators, because there is no such thing as a professional investigator.
Keith is asking a question. What do you think of the stone tape theory?
I believe in the stone tape theory. I really do. If you think about an old record, okay, you think of an old vinyl record. It's all it is a piece of plastic, isn't it? But it's got sound on. If you think of the sound on that, and years ago I watched the documentary, and I'd love to be able to remember it, and I'd love to remember when it was, because there was a documentary and somebody made out of clay, clay.
Yeah.
Because you were talking about the stone tape theory at that time, and he built this clay pot. And when he was building it, he was talking and chatting and making sounds and everything else. And he put grooves in the actual clay pot. And he actually picked up audio from the clay pot.
Oh, wow.
So you can do that from a clay pot of picking up vibrations. Surely walls, any wall, picks up vibrations.
Yeah.
If you think
about wall, wood, anything.
Sorry?
Like these old battleships that used to have pirate ships and stuff.
Yeah.
That some pubs have got the beams are out of a pirate ship. You're picking up sailors coming in the pub, and you're like, well, we're hold on, in the middle of England. We're like 300 miles away from the sea. How can we have sailors coming in here? Well, it's because the beams are brought from
the energies of.
You've got vibrations.
Yeah, the energies.
Yeah.
Stone tape.
If you think of a cassette player or a CD player now, all that is it's audio. It's just a piece of plastic. How have they got the audio onto that? So if they can do that, stones go back millions and millions of years, and the layers, aren't they? That when you look at, sometimes they're in layers. That's like a record player. That's our history going down and down and down.
Absolutely.
And I think if you get the technology to put something in them in the wall and listen, I'm sure you'd pick something up.
So the sandstone in castles that you go into, the sandstone holds the energy and the vibrations and the effects of what went on in there. Look, place I love to go to, Upton Castle. It holds so much history in there.
Yeah.
I've only ever
Oh,
done one YouTube video on it, and I've been there like 6, 7 times. I've done plenty of lives, but I've only done one YouTube video on it, and we had loads of activity, but we had battery drained a lot, and some of it couldn't be filmed because of the battery drain. But I should be going back there again. It doesn't matter how many times you've been somewhere. It doesn't mean to say that the activity is going to change.
Yeah.
no.
Jamie,
You can't turn it on and off.
Sorry, my husband. Imagine if we'd done that in that cave.
I was thinking that before, Lynn.
You know what?
If you
Should we try it? Shall we?
I think we should. Do you know what? But I'll ask my son Mark to come with us. My son, he's phenomenal. He can talk to you about the energies in water. He understands frequencies. He understands vibrations. He's studied it all and everything. I'm not up on him. I'm proud of him for doing it. But he went to university for audio, and sometimes when I'm listening to him, I'm thinking, I need a DNA because his brain is just beyond mine. But he can sit there. He can sit there. I mean, he spoke to me for nearly an hour about water. I don't know whether in school, if you ever got punished in school and he turned around and said, I want you to write an essay on water. And I remember it when we used to have to write essays on a drawing pin and things like that.
Yeah.
He could sit and talk to you about water vibrations. If you asked him about the stone, I'm sorry, the person who asked about the vibrations, if you spoke to my son about the vibrations, he's unbelievable. Maybe I'll ask him to come on one night with me.
Yeah, that would be brilliant. That would be. Keith says, everyone, I am a well-known paranormal investigator and rescue medium, and you are all tuned into the big picture. Oh, thank you.
You certainly are. Well tuned in.
Hello, one of the Dream Boys. I call him and Mark Reynolds. We had Mark Reynolds on last week, and I call they two the Dream Boys. So this is one half of the Dream Boys. He says, Paranormal Investigators NI is my page. Watch it. I'll need to check that out, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
This cave we're going on about, I've mentioned it before. Tell them about the cave, Jamie, when I took you there.
Oh, I could talk all night about that. It was absolutely amazing. It doesn't matter which way you turn, there was something interesting, whether it was a crest, whether it was a headless, what was it, a headless monk?
Yeah.
Putrefied or petrified, it's called, isn't it? There's a skeleton in there with his hands. Looks like he's flying, or I think he's like trying to give you a cuddle because his arms are so far out. There's a gargoyle. I couldn't even tell you. There's a bear. My son Mark, I was just telling you about that. I took him along, didn't I?
Yeah.
And he turned around and said, "This place is significant." He was actually telling me all what they meant and everything. And he said, "See these, what you're sitting on?" And I went, "Yeah." He said, "These used to be where bodies were. You're sitting on where bodies were."
Laid them out, yeah.
Laid them out. And he said, for some reason or other, they've been taken, they've gone. And things have been, some of the parts have been damaged and that. And he said, that's not people going in here and doing it. That's when they've emptied this, they've caused that damage. But he said I think, was it the monk? He said, that's a petrified monk.
He said the skeleton, didn't he?
The skeleton is real.
The skeleton was petrified.
Yeah. And the monk. But he said if you touch the rope on the monk, he said that's genuine, that's real rope. When you touch the feet, he said they're real feet.
The real feet. And do you know what, Jamie?
Oh, yeah.
I often think about that monk. And do you know what? Where's the head gone? Where is that head? And what kind of head was on the monk? That makes me, when I look at the characters and the bits on it, and you look at some of the cows or the bears and the lion, has it got a lion's head? A bit like the ancient Egyptians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They came out of my head there.
Ask Mark.
And what they used to do in Rome and that, when the emperor died or whoever it was, they used to either take the arms off the statues in a way where that's like an end to that era. You'll see them in all the museums with things missing off them.
I
So
know
it makes
Mark.
me wonder whether they've actually taken the heads off so they can't nobody can see what that statue was looking at.
Well, Mark said that. He said when they showed him that, he said they've taken the head deliberately off that. And he said, if you look around, there's other things what have been taken away as well. And he said that's so they can't be identified. He said he thinks
Oh,
it's
wow.
something to do with royalty. He honestly believes that cave is
Absolutely.
something to do with royalty. And
Yeah,
then you've got the building next door, which is crystallized all over.
Yeah.
And Mark explained that all the windows and everything are arched. There's nothing square there. And he said that's so the energy goes round. And that's what he said. If you look at anything from years and years and years ago, nothing was like square, like that, like a door. He said all
Yeah.
doors used to be curved for the energies. And he said it's only modern people that have decided to turn the doors into squares or oblongs, whatever you want to call them. You need to talk to them,
wow.
Lynn. Yeah.
Yes, I
Definitely.
do. So the place is really interesting, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
It's in a secret location. We only say that because we don't want people going in there. It's getting wrecked as it is. It is.
Mm.
And it is significant. I'm surprised they haven't
it certainly is.
saved it, to be honest.
And that is the problem these days with some of the locations. People are going in and they're ruining them, and they don't even understand that, you know what, other people have got to, explore there, guys. Come on, a wee bit of respect. So half the time when I do talk about places, that's what I like to say is undisclosed location, because why would you want these beautiful places to be ruined? Let's face it. Phil's laughing. Don't you be laughing, Mr. Phil. I thought I was your darling until I heard your escapades. But it's funny.
I was going to say the sad part with locations, outdoor locations, and when you listen to the Urban Explorers, I don't know whether you watch Urban Explorers on YouTube and that. Some of them are absolutely outstanding. And they have a saying, don't they? Is it something like walk something, but only leave your carbon footprint? Don't take nothing out of there.
Yeah.
And the professional ones do that. But then you've got the idiots who go in there and take what they want and damage what they want. And it ruins it for everybody else, because now Urban Explorers, in some locations, are finding it difficult to get in because people cause damage or they've caused too much noise and disturb the neighbors, and obviously that, and then they go out and name the places on YouTube, and so everybody knows where it is, and then all of a sudden it's locked away.
You know what, Jamie?
Listen to this. This is the coincidence is unbelievable, right? I was looking after this old lady, can't mention names, and she passed away eventually. But her family had a farm, and the farm was still unsold because it then belonged to her when her family died. There was urbexers going in there around the farmhouse. The family of that woman were friends of mine, and they showed me, because they thought I'd know who they were, and I didn't.
Yeah.
They showed me the video on YouTube of these people breaking into the farmhouse, and the picture of my friend and her husband's wedding was on the table. The family were devastated. The reason why it was empty is because this lady's brothers were living there. They died. It then became hers, so it was empty for a while. The family went down and they put big bars up and 6-inch nails in and everything, trying to stop. But no, people still went in. Then that was it. Then everybody wanted a piece of it, didn't they?
See,
I was going to say, have you seen? There's another one on there on YouTube, and it's a male and a female went on urbexing around this house. Went in the bedroom, and the lady was in bed.
I seen it.
Have you seen it?
I've seen that, yeah.
Holy
Well,
fuck.
give them two YouTubers credit. I mean, it wasn't disrespectful at all, because when they found out, they got the woman help, they brought her food, they supported her, and
They
they
did,
was
yeah.
so apologetic and everything else. That credit to them for doing that, and in a way, it was good because she got the help she needed.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
And
Oh, bless.
that's what you call professionalism when you see that.
Yeah.
It's when you
Yeah.
go in there and you don't care.
It is.
Yeah,
Eh,
another week or so, and then she'd been gone.
Phil says, me and Mark are the paranormal dream boys. Listen, I'm waiting for your calendar that's coming out next year. Phil says, totally agree with you guys. There's too many idiots out there, but there's a majority of your urban explorers that are, yep, I've
Like,
got to
yeah,
say,
true.
are so disrespectful.
It's true, and it's what is sad is all herb explorers and paranormal explorers as well are all put in the same category, and that's not fair.
No,
No,
you get hard with staying
I'd
brush,
say that.
don't you?
Yeah.
Tom, get your cock in. Get in here. This is Tom.
Pardon?
This is my darling Tom with his cock.
Oh, well, it's after 9.
Aye, that's it.
Watershed's
No
over.
spilly. No spilly. But yeah, there is you know something I will sort out for chat. Aye, but I'm September. I want a special picture with you on it. So, do you know what, guys? I totally hear you. An undisclosed location would have still been open, and I would love to have 10 pictures and showed people, because that's where I seen an apparition, a gentleman, and I let out a scream. Let's just say paranormal. I put them under paranormal nuisances, shall we say? 2 teams, one from England, one from Scotland. Went in, bullshitted half the history, didn't have a clue, just made up the history off their head. The history was it was a old boys' school. That's all I'll say. So they went in, did a lie, totally bullshitted it, totally disrespectful. And now, let's just say, I won't be urban exploring there anymore because they've actually bricked up the windows,
Yeah.
so you can't actually get through. And the thing about this place is, I'll always remember the inside and still picture it. It had a beautiful staircase, a beautiful, beautiful staircase. It was still intact and everything. And it had a lot of good places. But yeah, they went in and they just ruined it. They just made a mockery. Because one of the paranormal nuisances from England done a meet and greet where in my next local town, and no one showed up. No one showed up. No, nobody showed up. It was funny. They don't deserve it. Hi, oh, but yeah, but this is again comes back down to the point of it's a grey area when you talk about urban exploring, because people have the outcry of trespass. Now in Scotland, trespass is a civil matter. So it's like, trying to Noreen knows who I'm talking about. Noreen, baby. Oh, there's Tom and his cock on time.
Tom and his cock, way!
There's Tom and his...
Whoa, there we go.
Hello, you handsome devil.
Tired, but I'm okay.
You're alive.
It was a
This
late
is
night
Jamie.
of.
Jamie,
sorry.
this is Tom. Say hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hello,
Hi, Tom.
hello.
Jamie must have been terrified because all we sat and talked about was Tom's cock. So when I said Tom's cock, it must have been like, holy shit.
It's all the
Reveal my
rage,
eyes.
when it pops up.
I've heard about your cock popping up, Tom.
Oh wow!
Lowe's told me all about it.
My infamous cock.
Yeah.
It's that bad. He's got to tie it on his leg.
Now you know what TW
no,
stands for on his head.
Hi
Willie.
there, Tom, and hi, Tom's cock. Everybody must be like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, urban exploring goes into that grey area of trespass. Now, this
I
is
never
what-
explore. I never ever explore anything ever.
Yeah, whatever.
TK, don't use lie to me. Do you know what, guys? My strong opinion is, see if people ain't looking after the building, right, and they're leaving it to basically rot, we then should have the right to be able to go in, if we're doing lawful activity, which we are, lawful activity, we're not destroying the building, we're not, going in doing anything that we shouldn't be doing, and that's fine. The problem is when it comes to youth, right? I've got one myself, and the problem is that they don't have youth clubs or that to go to.
No,
Most of these places don't have youth clubs. See if you could change them and channel to them. Well, see these buildings, they're lovely, give them something to do. At least I think it would keep them off the streets and keep them away from buildings. Because there is a lot of good buildings out there that are so beautiful. Even I'm quite lucky because I've got castles round about me as I roll my eyes.
Just because she's
But-
hoping to run into some cryptids. It's what's going on. I see Noreen in the chat. I have to say,
I have seen a lot of cryptids recently.
Well, I've seen my share. They usually come in pairs too.
Well, you can get big cryptids, you can have small cryptids, you can have water cryptids.
It could be a small one with a big eye, just one. Could be a big one with a small eye. The eyes come in different colors.
Oh, I see. Nobody's giving you hearts. Hi, Phil. But I think these places should be more open to letting investigators in. I mean, I've tried down your way, Jamie. I tried to get into Used Farm Asylum. I did email the place, and they never ever got back to me. And I was quite gutted because I've heard a lot of good reports about Used Farm Asylum.
The Newsham, it's massive. It's absolutely. I've done it twice.
Newsham, yeah.
But what they used to do in Newsham, they used to give you a quarter of it,
right?
And then you could hire the other quarters at an extra price and an extra price and extra price, and it got too much. I mean, I've been there. I think it's overdone now. That's what I think of it, and it's like some places they do overdo them. And the only reason why they get that is because they're forever on YouTube, the local papers.
Gotta watch out for those YouTube people.
I know.
Weird people.
Especially, can I just say, Jamie, there's this YouTube channel that pisses me off, and it's called This Is Tom's World.
I know that guy.
That guy.
He is, not only is he ugly, his adventures suck.
I thought he was going to mention my channel.
I wouldn't say he was ugly. I would ask who his younger brother was and if he was single, but
he is old too. I mean, he's like 50 now, so
50. I would have said 45.
Well, no, you see the gray in his facial hair, and he's starting to get gray hairs on the side too now. So it's the age is catching up. The sides of his face. The side. Oh.
When are we meeting up? All meeting up, darling. Anytime. I have now at the point of semi-freedom. Oh Jesus Christ! Here comes another one in the door.
Oh, this guy.
So there'll be at some point definitely. So Nick, this is Jamie. Jamie, this is Nick.
Hi Nick, you okay?
Hi, Jamie. Nice to meet you.
Bane of my
And you too.
existence in Minecraft.
Nick, Jamie's a Scouser.
Whoa,
Oh, is that right?
Whoa, what are you trying to
whoa.
say?
Hey, Woods. Hey, listen. What kind of show is this?
Leave me alone. I've got a low cut top on today.
I think Richard's
Is
gone
this
to loo.
being broadcast to OnlyFans?
What do you mean I'm in trouble, Kate?
Oh, you haven't read the Minecraft chat yet, have you?
No, because I've been packing up.
Yeah, I saw your horrendous waste
Horrendous
of
what?
cobblestone and wood.
Wait, what?
Your waste of cobblestone and wood that was worked at so hard to develop and get.
Yep.
Instead of
Okay.
going out and getting your own to make that monstrosity.
That's
You
exactly
I agree
what
with you,
mean,
Phil.
I took. Yeah, I had to get some from nearby, but other than that,
Why
I
do you
bought a
need
lot of
4
from the nearby
floors for a
cave.
block building with the 4th floor made out of solid wood?
I made that as an attic. That's an
Well,
attic.
welcome to Therapy Corner, people. Phil says, love Liverpool, great people. Do you know what? I've been to Liverpool. I was at Liverpool once because my friend went the wrong way. We were meant to go up the way, excuse me, because we'd been in Manchester. She took the wrong turning and we ended up in Liverpool. And I
No,
like
she
Liverpool.
took the right turn and took the right turn.
But I absolutely loved Liverpool. I love the accent.
Right, let me explain, Jamie. Nick thought I was a Scouser.
Okay.
Yeah. You did, didn't you? You thought I was. You said, "Are you from Liverpool?" I went, "No, I'm not a Scouser."
To be
I'm
fair,
Welsh.
I did think you were a Scouser for a while.
Yeah, I'm a
loves
Welsh
Liverpool.
girl, innit?
Yeah, she loves Liverpool that much. She even comes down a day earlier.
Oh, that's not what happened, Jamie.
We had our Christmas night, and I used to have me podcast up, my studio up in Mill Street Barracks. And I said to Lynn, don't forget to come down on our Christmas night. And I gave her the date and everything else. We're upstairs doing a podcast radio show, and my phone's on the table. I went, Lynn's ringing me. So we stopped and answered the phone. She went, "Hey, I'm outside." I said, "What do you mean you're outside?" I said, "I'm outside." I said, "You're outside Mill Street now?" She said, "Yeah." When I went down, she was there all dressed in the Christmassy stuff and everything else. She went, "Am I early?" And I said, "No, it's tomorrow."
There's my Megalodon. Hello, Megalodon.
God.
But imagine, listen, it's better being early than late, as
Well, she
some
ended up on
people
the
should
show.
know. No pointing any elbows anywhere.
Hey, I'm packing up. So I already told you before that I was going
I
to
know, I'm only pulling your leg.
Yeah, I know you were. Yeah, I know.
In case people are wondering what I'm doing, I'm putting cream on my legs just now because I've noticed that they're off a spotty. So in case people, just in case people see,
cream on your legs.
yeah,
Well,
just in case, it's in case anyone's thinking to themselves they can see a wee bit of hand action. It's obviously
Okay. We've seen that as well.
Is that what I made?
Yeah, that's what you made. That's what I'm putting on my legs.
Is it working for you?
Well, I'm
You
going
should
to
put it
try it because what it is, when I can't believe I'm sitting here having this conversation on a live. But when I shave my legs, for some reason, they end up coming out like spotty dick. So I'm kind of using this as...
Wait for it.
He does have spots on him, if you see.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's no, that's
That's from shaving. See, it's prickly heat type stuff from shaving.
It is. Scott's like you crazy one. Talk about yourself, Alan. Bye, Phil. Jamie, do you regret coming on now? I bet you like that. Jesus Christ, I wish I'd said no.
It's all right, my therapist is sitting next to me.
I'm glad you're going to need him.
That's Tom's favorite food right there.
What?
I don't know. I
46?
think that's a delicacy that comes from Illinois.
No, it does not.
Illinois?
No.
You're in Illinois.
They like spotty cock in Illinois.
Chicago,
Tom's from
Illinois.
Pennsylvania.
I'm from Philadelphia.
Right?
Oh, sorry, Philadelphia.
Philadelphia
And
in
Nick
Pennsylvania.
from Illinois.
Illinois.
Yes,
Chicago.
Thank you, Lynn.
And Willow's in Scotland somewhere. I know that.
Yep.
I'm in
She's
the
in the bosom of Scotland.
The
I know where
bosom
Lynn
of
is.
Scotland. You leave me out of that. Wait, you not talking about the Scottish dessert?
Desert.
It's the American dessert. You hint, Scotty. Hey, Jenny, how are you, my love?
Hey, Jenny.
Everybody's well.
Hi, Daddy.
Everybody's well. So, I don't think we've really covered this, Jamie, but what was your first paranormal experience?
Do you mean something that really happened?
Yeah.
Like a paranormal thing? Yeah. And with Lynn, Hack Green nuclear bunker.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Lynn was sitting next to me, and there was some kind of breeze or something went between us, and Lynn grabbed my hand, and she squeezed it that tight. I had to say to her, Lynn, can I have my blood circulation back in my hand, please? Whatever it was like a gust of wind. And I don't know whether you were there that night, Lynn, when there was a woman scream.
Yes.
And we were split into two groups. One went on one floor, one went on the other floor. And we were just sitting there. And the next minute, we just heard this woman, all out mighty scream of this woman. And I went, oh, it's probably the other group. They're just, something frightened them and that. When we had our break, we were sitting there and we were talking about the scream. And I said, we thought it was yous. And we thought it was them. And they thought it was us. And there was none of us. And when we spoke to the owner of the building, he turned around and said, people have heard that scream before. So do you remember it, Lynn, really clear that night?
It was a bit, it makes you feel a little bit I don't know, puts you off, doesn't it? Because there's places in that building, everything's scary. Even when they turn the lights on, you can't see a hand in front of you sometimes. And when you're walking through corridors, it's freaky down there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's fantastic. Were you there when I scared Donna?
Most probably it was.
We were in like a cinema.
Oh, yeah.
We were in the cinema there, and we were all sitting there, weren't we? And Donna and Mike, who were brilliant people, they'd gone off and they'd done this sensory deprivation on their own. I could hear them talking away and coming along the corridor, and I went, shh, they're coming here, they're coming into the cinema. Don't say a word. And as they walked through the door, I went, get out. Well, she hit the wall, and she literally wanted to kill me, didn't she? She battered me. She literally wanted to kill me.
Oh,
she's never forgiven me.
That is singing like a bitch on my legs.
That's why
what she's using is I made some comfrey salve.
You made some cunt?
Not some cunt.
That's all I got.
Comfrey. Let me put it that way. Comfrey salve.
Why is it free?
Or did it not just sound like Lynn said? I just made some cunt.
So, and it's really good for pain. It's good for your bones. It's good for getting rid of your arthritis.
So it's comfrey.
Comfrey.
So it's without cum.
It's
it's just not charged for.
Not for. Comfrey.
Comfrey. Scott says over here we call that a French tickler. I am not touching that with a 50-foot barge pole. Scott's laughing. I just farted and scared mud.
That's what Tom does all the time on Minecraft, speaking of which.
I'm just gassy. I can't.
Kate and I have heard it
It
firsthand.
comes out the mouth and the other end. It's
Jenny says, Jamie, for some reason I've been talking with a Liverpoolian accent to my daughters, asking them, do they want chips and a can of Coke? They hate me doing it. I have no idea how it started. Nori says, I thought, what has Lo done? I made some.
Oh, God damn it.
Listen,
well, no, it's come free.
Classy.
It's come free. It's
That's
like
free.
you have sugar-free soda. This is come free, Sal.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can I just say it's the same sort of colour?
Oh dear.
Well, that's not a healthy color. That's
It's
I would see a urologist at that point.
it's good to yellowy.
Oh,
Maybe an oncologist, something.
poor Jamie's like, around here we call that man juice. But
Yeah.
so
Juice is loose.
I bet you
Juice
regret
is
putting that
loose.
on.
It is
You
loose.
regret putting that on your legs now, don't you?
No, I'm saying nothing. I should have
Man,
waited there after the show, but I thought, oh no, my legs are like spotty. And then I was like, oh, it'll be fine. And now they're sitting here going, help me, they're on fire.
Calling it juice now gives whole new meaning to like Pauly Shore. If you guys remember him back when he was younger, he always used to say, "We's in the juice." Now I gotta wonder what the hell was he doing? Was it the cameraman?
That's the things you've got to wonder.
Yeah. In the
Jamie.
paranormal world, it's called ectoplasm.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's right.
It has
yeah.
the same properties. Yeah. Until it dries, anyway.
I am saying nothing. I am
I'm
being
not saying-
unfair.
Listen to this.
I got
God's
nothing. I
laughing.
got nothing.
I bought some of this thing that's going on at the moment, and it's called tallow. Have you heard of tallow?
No.
No, please
And
explain.
It's off. It's like the fat off a cow, but people are using it. It's getting rid of I know, Jeremy. It's getting rid of eczema and everything. Right, so I bought some, and I put some on my arms today. And Simon's girlfriend called round with her big dog, massive dog, and the dog started attacking me. He was licking all my arms.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
Just don't start
was
growing
tasty.
udders now.
Beef.
Oh my God. Poor Lynn. You're getting attacked by the
It
dog.
wasn't Lynn's fault, it was the others.
Oh,
I'll have
for
to tell
God's
Marie what
sake.
you've done now.
But, poor thing. Oh. But some of the ointments that we use is quite extraordinary.
It is.
You think?
It is. We need all the help we can get nowadays.
Oh
No, you
God, yeah.
certainly need help.
In this show, we're all out of help. We're way past that point of help.
Yeah, there is no help. for me.
Noreen says they used to use tallow in the candle factories. Oh,
Ooh, I better be careful. I might go on fire.
oh, please don't.
I'll be glowing
This
for a
girl
week.
is on fire.
In fact, that would suit with Friday's theme. Disco Inferno, burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno.
That's what I'm having at my I want to be cremated, so that's what I'm having at my passing out sort of.
Well,
tune.
see if I was allowed to play that at my papa's funeral, I would have played that song, Burn, Baby, Burn, Disco Inferno. It's a good one to go out with
Oh, yeah.
when you're getting burned.
Why not?
Anyway,
My last wishes.
didn't you used to do a lot of photography, Jamie?
Yeah. For theatres, used to go down the local theatre and do all the when you've done the shows and everything else. I I used to go along and do all the photography for them for the advertisements and that. And then I started to design the posters for them. And then I started to design the programs. So that's what I used to do before I went into the paranormal world, would you believe?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Have you ever caught anything on photo, Jamie? Like, have you caught any, like, figures or pictures of manifesting or anything like that?
No, I'll be honest with you. I've never caught anything like that, but there is I'm going to advertise my book again now. In my book, there's a photograph of a pair of wet feet at Mill Street Barracks. Somebody said there's somebody standing at the door. Personally, I couldn't see the person standing there, but a few of them could. And for some reason, we turned the lights on anyway. And when we looked near the door, there was wet footprints on the floor. Now we know we've got a small spring going through near the end of the cellar, but there was just the one pair of feet, and I thought I'll go and check that, that nobody's walked into it and walked into here, but they were the only pair of feet we could see. checked everybody else, and nobody had wet feet or anything, but they've had to take the shoes and socks off anyway to do that. The other one, which is a really good photograph, and again, it's a pair of feet, but it's up in the bedrooms with a pair of long johns on.
Oh, wow.
And it was just what we've done is we had a paranormal investigation, and you know the way you go around with your mobile phones and people take pictures and God knows what else. And this girl stopped and she went, "Oh my God, look at this!" And she actually had a pair of feet on the picture. So she gave me them, and she deleted all the photographs off her camera. She said, "I'm not taking any more pictures." She never ever come back again because it frightened her. So them pictures are actually in the book. But I've never taken a photograph of anything at all like that. It's very, very difficult to do. And when you see the photographs now, when people show you photographs now, a lot of them is pareidolia.
Yeah.
And that's my own opinion, and the circling and drawing pictures to say there's the eyes and that, and they're not giving you a chance to work it out yourself. And when you try and debunk them and say, "Oh no, it's this, this, and this," they don't believe you.
Yeah,
so you've got to believe them. Yeah.
See, that is there is a lot of that basically that if you try. It's good if you don't, it's good if you do. If you give them the truth, they don't like it, and you're called skeptic, you're called this, and then it gets personal. But if you had to humour them, then you would still be the bastard. Because then it would be, why you found their head full of nonsense, why you telling them that the picture has something when you know it hasn't. So it's definitely one of them when you're on the what do you do sort of thing, and that's why if I had to start investigating again, I definitely know if I went for putting my stuff up, I would have close friends rather than have people in as members, and I don't mean this disrespectfully. I watched many a group, I've been in many a group, and I have seen fake accounts. I have seen one group where it had 70,000 odd members, and it was a riot. People were putting up photos, and basically, I'm not looking. Basically, they would obviously put up photos, and they would get slaughtered for them. And it's things like that that put you off doing it. I know what you're doing, Tom. I can still see you at the corner of my eye.
Just sitting here.
Yeah, I figured he was up to something.
You're going to get a spanking.
That'll encourage him to do more.
Yeah, he's like, I love doing that because Tom goes red, and then he's just sort of like. But if I had to do it again, I would definitely just invite people that I knew and I trusted. If I was going to share the that of my work, definitely.
See, I think I'd say 99% of the photographs is pareidolia. There's so many. I mean, I don't know whether you all agree, but with the likes of Photoshop and all the other, now you've got AI out there, it's going to be more and more difficult to prove the paranormal that you've got captured something online on a camera, because the technology now is making it more difficult for people who do get a genuine picture to show that they have. So the technology is fantastic and everything else, but it's doing damage at the same time. It's causing a lot of damage as well.
It is doing a lot of damage, and when people are trying to show off their work, then it's a case of, it's fake. And it's the same as, I suppose it's like the same as anything. Like, it could be part of paranormal, it could be like the ufology, like UFOs, where people will show their videos, and it could be the most genuine thing in the world. But as technology is going on and AI is going on, it is making it extremely more difficult to show anything. And you just think to yourself, it's a waste. It really is a waste. It's amazing what you could do with AI these days. I could go in and make a video and claim that, I've seen a UFO or I've seen Bigfoot.
And the worrying thing about all this technology, what's coming out, and you've all seen it. You've seen the dolls that talk, the REM pods and the K2s and everything else. They're taking over what our natural senses. So when you go on an investigation now, it's like, if you read the phrase of, it's like Blackpool illuminations, or in America, Las Vegas. It's just lights everywhere. It's just ridiculous. There's only a few things I use. I use a cat ball. That's it, a cat ball. Or we take the thermal imager. We don't bother with anything else, because I also think that companies out there are playing on the paranormal people as well, bringing out technology, what they know is a load of tripe, and selling it, saying it can do this, it can do that, it can do everything. If that technology was that good, we'd have proven now that there's paranormal, there's ghosts out there.
Exactly.
It would have been 100%.
Yeah.
The best thing to use is your own senses. The only people who know whether it's genuine is yourself, or someone you're with. You can trust 100%. And I think it's going to get harder. Not, in fact, it's killing the paranormal. It's killing it. The biggest thing now is airbaxes, because they don't need the technology what we're using, and I think it's gradually killing off the paranormal to what it used to be. When it started off, I don't know whether you remember, in 1992 there was a program called Ghost Watch on.
On that's the one that everybody's claiming that they got PTSD off of.
Yeah, that's the one. Michael Parkinson was the presenter.
Yeah.
I thought that, and I still think it now, was absolutely fantastic, because they tricked people. It felt at the time it was on in Halloween, and everyone thought it was genuine. Even, I mean, I remember watching it and sitting there and like, I think we better turn this off. It's pretty creepy. Now, it's a spoof, but that was the pinnacle of the paranormal when it came out. That was the number one. Then you had Most Haunted, who come out, who, when they started, were fantastic. What they'd done was brilliant. Everybody was watching it. They were only half-an-hour shows, and I don't blame anything on Most Haunted. I think TV pushes for people to do it, to make things happen.
Yeah.
The same with American series. I'm not going to name names, but when you watch them and they catch them out, it's a trap. I think what they're doing is they're giving these people a platform, making them do Oh, sorry, my phone just fell off.
Hey, I was like, Jesus, are you all right?
That was.
No, it's so hot here that the actual cameras just fell off the thing. So I'll just have to try and put it somewhere where.
Oh, you're all right. As long as you're okay, Jamie. I thought you'd fell off your chair. I was like, fuck's sake, I've never had that in a show before.
No, I'm all right. It's the paranormal in this house. No, my phone's just fell off. I've got one of these. I'm going to show you. I haven't got a clue. It's that side, isn't it? One of these things. It's so hot here. It's come off the thing there, but not to worry. I'll try and hold it till my arm drops off. But no, I think now TV puts so much pressure on these groups to do something, so they stay on the TV, and that's where we're losing the genuine people. And I don't blame some of these people who are having to make things happen, because for TV is very difficult. They want it to happen because they want the viewers.
Yes.
So it's cruel, because then the likes of the groups who were on there, it started off genuine. I pushed and pushed and pushed.
Yeah.
And then they're getting the blame for the TV shows, for behind the scenes, the directors and the ones who are writing it. It's not fair. I know some do it and cause problems, and they've been caused. But sometimes I think we're too harsh on them. I think we don't realise. I mean, if somebody said to me, Jamie, I'm going to give you a TV programme for 6 programmes, and I'm going to give you £1 million. And what I want this, that, and that to happen. You're going to think, it's only 6 programmes, isn't it? Let's do it. I'll make myself £1 million. My family are made secure and everything. You've got to think. People have to think that way. You've got to. We're all there to live a luxury life, or to live without having to worry about things. Mm-hmm. And if they say to you, throw a spoon across the room, and we'll give you £1 million, are you going to?
You're obviously going to do it. I mean, anyone would. The problem is, as you say, Jamie, it starts off with the best intentions in the world, and then it just becomes, they get bigger-headed, bigger numbers, bigger-headed, and then it just becomes that downhill spiral where people then start to criticise. Now, I'm not going to mention the show. I'm just going to say a certain show. It's no Most Haunted. In fact, I would love for Wayne to be here, because when you mention Most Haunted, his face is a picture. Yeah, you see Wayne going like that.
I'm just trying to think of
it. But a certain show that I've seen clips of, I personally like it. And one of the guys makes me laugh. But you see the whole now where people are getting mixed reviews on it, total mixed reviews, and you just think to yourself, what? No one's going to sit and watch a show, right? It would, in an ideal world, we would all love if we could have the show the way that ghost hunting really was, right?
Yeah.
But in an ideal world, you can. That's what you may want, but in reality is, are you going to sit and watch a program for half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour and a half, where there's absolutely nothing? Now, there's a lot of people who would say yes on that prospect, but then there's a lot of people, on the other hand, that would turn around and say, well, I wouldn't, but it's the same as films, right? My biggest bugbear are films and TV, because a lot of people watch like movies like Paranormal Activity.
Sorry about me moving around. I'm just trying to set it up.
No, you're absolutely fine. And all different other ones, and they assume that's ideally how the paranormal world should be and how it is. And you think to yourself, when you look at these people, as don't do it because you've watched, because I haven't personally watched, as I've told everybody, in my lifetime of paranormal and before paranormal, I've only ever watched one ghost show, and it was 28 Days Haunted. And the only reason why I really watched it was Dick knows why, is because of Shane Pittman, and I love Shane Pittman, right? And I watched 28 Days Haunted. I like the places as well, right? Because I'm very, very connected with America, right? I love America, honestly. If I win the lottery, I'm out of Scotland. I'm going touring America. Sorry, Nick.
It's funny you brought that up, Shane Pittman up, because I'm going to be seeing him this weekend, as a matter of fact.
Well, Nick, you know what your job is. If you don't give me the photo, you're going to fall out. So you better get a picture of my pal, or I mean you're going to fall out.
You know I will.
So this other show that you will not mention is the initials of this show GA by any chance?
I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say TW. I was going to say
no. Actually, GA. Don't even get me started on GA.
GA with ZB.
Don't, because I want to strangle the hell out of Zach Backins. Demons, everything, demons.
Let's just get the whole thing away, though.
But no, that's not the one I'm talking about. This one's British. That's all I'll say. Noreen says too much technology is distracting, and she says,
I'll be right back.
"Oh, Noreen, where are you?" Where the money becomes involved, it becomes entertainment, and that is the problem.
Exactly.
That is a problem, and the problem also is when people get a taste of fame, they become too much ego. And they think they're better than everybody else. And
egos.
Yeah. I've always said if I won the lottery, I became famous, I would, Tom, are you alive? I would never ever let it change me or change who I am. Never would ever, because at the end of the day, I always say I would be like Keanu Reeves. Now, I love Keanu Reeves.
Sorry, I'm trying to fix my chair now.
No, you're fine, love. I would say I would be like him, really down to earth. I would make sure, obviously, see my friends and family all right. Especially you, Lenny. I would get you. I would get you stilts so you look like 6 foot. It's okay, Richard. I'd see you all right too, Dickie. Don't you worry.
Cheers, love. Thank you.
Guys, before we wrap up tonight, for everybody who missed the start, tomorrow night, I am paying tribute to Bry, who lost his life on Monday. Bry was one of my co-hosts for 2 to 3 years on Friday Frighteners. There was me, him, and Ian Barrow. Now, and Nick as well. I didn't forget about you, son. Don't worry.
No, it's fine. You guys, you started it first without me, but then eventually I just kind of.
You eventually.
I eventually did.
I dropped you into everything. Wait till we're together. So the next thing you know is so he died unfortunately on Monday, guys. So as a tribute, I am playing one of the shows tomorrow, and it's Bry interviewing Brian Baker for Haunted Homes UK. So that will be out tomorrow night, guys. It will be coming through as a live, but I can assure you it's an old live. It's just in case anyone starts popping up and saying hello. So it will be coming through like this, guys. So my thoughts are with Bry's family and Ian.
Yeah.
So that's just in case, guys, please. Nori says, "Thought what's going on, Tom?" Middle Tom vanished and Jamie was getting lower and lower.
I'm gonna be honest. I really wanted to say at some point, Lois, that what we should have done was just say that we'll just end the show here. Then you take us all off except Tom's screen when he comes back.
How funny would that be? Right, everybody will sneak off without Tom.
I would literally say, "All right, now that Tom is gone right now. The show has been compromised. Everybody scatter."
Similar things have been done to me, but I was a hell of a lot more inebriated.
Right, it's like Jamie. I just want to begin to thank you for tonight, and thank you very much for coming on. Do you want to tell people where they'll find you?
If I keep stepping down this screen, you won't be able to see me. Never mind, find me. Yeah, if you go on YouTube, you can find Access Paranormal Radio. Just look for Access Paranormal Radio. You can find it on there. If you want to go onto Facebook, it's Access Paranormal Podcast. Is it radio podcast? Just look for Access Paranormal Radio, and you'll find it anyway.
Yeah.
And also Access Paranormal on the website is www.accessparanormal UK. If you go on there, then that'll take you to all the links anyway. Just my mind's completely blank this week because we've had some bad news, so I'm not concentrating very well.
Help yourself.
So yeah, if you go onto YouTube, Access Paranormal Podcast and Access Paranormal Radio, 2 different channels. I've also got another one which I'm just starting now, and it's called Talking Point Real Lives. It's interviewing people who look after people with mental health and things like that. It's nothing to do with paranormal, but it's just to show that there's people out there who can help you, from housing to deaths to mental health, and things like that. I'm be talking to someone who has a club for people who have tried to commit suicide, and you can go along, and there's other people here with the same experiences, and it's like a support group. So I'm just looking for people like that and interviewing them. So it's like a little sideline from the paranormal world, and it's
funny you should mention that, Jamie. In fact, I'll talk to you off air about it because I need to talk to the lads as well when we're off air, because I've got an idea that I would love to do one night. But I want to say thank you to Lynn for inviting you along, and thank you very much. And I want to say thank you to my viewers. As always, guys, you are amazing. Please go and check out and support Jamie the best way that you can. That would be amazing.
Thank you.
And buy his new book when it's printed.
Yeah, and definitely his new book when it comes out in June, please. Definitely check out, guys. Oh, one more thing, guys. Now, an author that we've had on before, Santal, has reached out to me to see that if anyone's had near-death experiences or out of body. In fact, I'll read a message.
I did before when the phone fell.
I've had inner body experiences.
What Synth is looking for is our book. She's looking for a few stories to fill up. So if you've had death, doorstep, near-death experiences, angel rescues, and spirit warnings, anything like that, or just missed accidents, which Jamie has. So if you want to tell Synth, you'd go and tell her. Deathbed conversations, etc. Anything you would like to share, guys, please go and check her out. Her name is Synth Hill. What I'll do is I will put her name into the chat, guys. Or
yeah, I've got some to tell her. Yeah.
Yep. Well, definitely, guys, please go and share your stories. Now, everyone, our time here is done. Everybody can go and get therapy tomorrow. We shall see you. We shall see you next week. Next week, guys, we have Emily Paranormal next Thursday night, and then next Friday night we have David Jung coming on to the show. So it will be amazing, guys. Everybody have a good weekend and stay safe. And if you're Tom, keep behaving. Everyone, bye, everyone.
Never.
Bye.